Hello guys, this is Spicy. Welcome back to another Gunpla review. Today we're going to talk about the kits from the Gundam Seed universe. Two of them are actually from the high-grade Gundam Seed line, which is long been discontinued at this point. And we also have the high-grade Cosmic Era kit, which is technically part of the high-grade Universal Century, even though this is a complete separate universe. So what Bandai does is, like, whenever they make a revived Gundam kit from a line that's long discontinued, they shoehorned it into the high-grade Universal Century, and they use a numbering from the high-grade Universal Century line. And yeah, it's a very confusing. It's like, why is there a Strike Freedom in the Universal Century catalog? But that's how they do it. But they just change the name from high-grade Universal Century to high-grade Cosmic Era. And you guys are gonna be seeing a lot of that in the next couple reviews, because I got the Gut Gundam and I got the Wing Gundams. So yeah, and the Double X, which are all shoehorned into the high-grade Universal Century. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at these two kits up front. This is the Ginn, and this is a Sagu. So basically, I don't have the box for the Ginn here. I think I must have misplaced it somewhere. So this is actually part of season 1, but MSV. So MSV stands for side story, or basically sometimes people don't consider them canon because it's actually not in the anime. It's probably like in some manga or something. So this one right here is the Gym type high maneuver, or they should have just called it Ginn high mobility type. And yeah, basically it's a mono eye made by ZAFT. In the Gundam Seed universe, ZAFT is basically the Zeon. Yeah, they pretty much have the same. It's like an exact copy of each other, sort of. But some stuff are a little bit different because now it's a different universe, obviously. And what's interesting about ZAFT is that ZAFT also built the Gundams. So this Gundam right here, the Strike Freedom, is also built by ZAFT. And basically what the good guys do is they steal the Gundams from ZAFT and use it against them. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is. So the Zakus and the Gundams are all built by the same faction. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the instruction manual. This is a pretty old kit. I believe this one was released in 2004, made in Japan. Now, a lot of people complain about these high-grade Gundam Seed kits because the proportions are a little weird. And yeah, I do agree. Like, they look cool, but their proportions are a little bit stubby. Like, they just look kind of stocky instead of sleek and, like other kits from other lines. So anyway, this is the Sagu. Basically, there's Zakus in the Gundam Seed, and I guess the Sagu are the Sagu and the Ginn are the Gelgook. They're like the upgraded version. So yeah. Anyway, so we have all its accessories and stuff like that, and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the kit. So here we have the Ginn, obviously. You can see the design is highly inspired by a Gelgook. I don't know if you guys can really see that, but they did away with all the power cables. So just like a Gelgook, no power cables. Some people will say like this look more like a Goof, but you know what? It doesn't have any power cables. The Goofs still have power cables. So this is definitely more like a Gelgook. And yeah, for accessories, we got the sword. This, you have the paint. This thing comes in all gray color, and then you just, if you want to look like accurate to the box art, you have to do a lot of painting to get it to look accurate. So oops, I dropped it. No. Okay. Anyway, here we have the sword right here, all nicely painted. Very nice. And the sword can be attached to the rifle right here. You just stick that in here like so. I think it's been a while since I fiddle around with this kit, but I think that's how it works. There we go, like that. So you got a giant sword bayonet kind of thing. Yeah, I know, not the best design, but what are you gonna do, right? And the sword can also be stored on the side skirt. And obviously, since this is a high mobility Ginn, it doesn't work very well, unfortunately. It's very easy to knock this thing off. So anyway, we're going to set the sword aside. And for the most part, these kits are kind of sturdy, as you can see. There are some loose parts here and there, but you can see, I think the arms could be a little loose and some of the shoulder armors, but if you glue that in, it should be pretty solid. I mean, it's pretty much an action figure style sturdiness. This thing's not going to fall apart on you. Maybe the hands will fall off if you knock around the weapon a little bit, like too much. But other than that, it's pretty solid. So anyway, here we have the back. Basically, it's just a Ginn with the high maneuver backpack and these extra thrusters on the leg. So anyway, let's go ahead and go over the articulation on this kit. Alright, let's go ahead and remove all the weapons, because the gun is starting to annoy me. I keep keep knocking this thing around with it. So basically, yeah, you have to remove the hand cover in order to get the rifle, I think, yeah, or the beam rifle off. We're gonna start with the head this time. The head is on the ball joint, same ball joint system right here. This one is actually a hinge that goes into the body. So unfortunately, it looks like you can't do anything with that. It's just static. So it's a ball joint that you can rotate. It is hindered by the, I guess, the armor on the chest. And then, whoops, like I said, you probably want to glue those parts in. These parts on the shoulder sits very loose because this actual part is just an upgrade part for the Sagu. The Ginn. Yeah. Why do I keep calling it the Sagu? But anyway, you put that in and then you stick it onto the shoulder armor like so. Wait, hang on. Let me get it in properly. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to glue these in. They're starting to really annoy me. But anyway, these are probably the only parts that's gonna come off. So obviously we got a ball joint. We got a peg here for the arm. You can see this is so old. It's just a straight peg that goes throughout the body. So no butterfly function whatsoever. And you can technically rotate that. Oh boy, what a mess. This review is becoming a massive problem. Okay, now the poly cap is stuck in here. Okay, anyway, you can rotate that. Okay, you can rotate that 360, just gotta fiddle around with the arm a little bit. Unfortunately, okay, the arm can go perpendicular. I'm actually quite surprised with that. And the shoulder armor is actually just attached to the shoulder piece right there. You have the bicep swivel. Just single bend for the elbow. No double jointed elbows. Well, it's 2004. Ball joint for the hand. We got a peg system for the waist. You can rotate that. Okay, and the front skirt you can move up. Side skirt you can articulate. Back skirt is fixed. We got a connection port here for the beam rifle, right? Okay, I don't think the beam rifle can be stored on the back skirt. It doesn't have any connection points. But I think you can also attach the sword back here. Yeah, that slot is for the sword. So, yeah, that's that. To be honest, the articulation isn't very impressive. We got the ball joint to the polycap system right here for the hips. And then we got technically a double jointed knee. It's like using the polycap system. So one polycap in the upper thigh, one polycap in the lower leg. So yeah, that's okay. That's not terrible, but it doesn't look very good. I mean, take a look at that. That's yeah. And then the feet is obviously on a hinge, and the feet it's attached via a ball joint. So we got a hinge right here, right there, like that, and then the ball joint. And the rest are just, cosmetics. Now on the back here, the backpack can also be articulated. So you have the, oh my gosh, I really don't like that armor piece. So anyway, the backpack, you can move up and down. It's attached via polycaps. So very old design. And this thing can swing out like that. And up. So actually said extra mobility. These things look kind of like GN drives. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's when I first saw this kit, I was like, wow, this thing is awesome. But after building it, yeah, I am not that impressed anymore. I mean, it looks cool, but articulation, build, everything else is very outdated. And if you want to have it look, accurate to the actual art, you're gonna have to do lots and lots of painting. So, lots and lots of painting. Okay, so that is the Ginn high mobility. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one, the Sagu deep arms. I believe the Ginn is about 1,500 yen in Japan. So that's about 14 US dollars. Yeah, you can probably still get this kit for around 18 bucks if you can find it available somewhere. I don't think it's being printed right now, so it's gonna probably be like a somewhat difficult find. Next up, we have the Sagu deep arms, and once again, this is Gundam Seed MSV, so side story, not non-canon, sort of. And this kit also retails for 1,500 yen. So yeah, this kit was also released in 2004. And yeah, Gundam Seed MSV, so Season 1 MSV side story. So yeah, then we get some more pictures of the Sagu. So yeah, main difference between the Sagu, and the Ginn is, I'll take a look at the head. This one sort of have power cables that goes to the front. Yeah, so maybe this guy could be a goof or something. The head is very similar to that of a Ginn. And the selling point for this kit are the giant cannons on the side. Yeah, that attached to the backpack. It looks really cool. And I think that's about it. It also have this very massive sword. Kind of look like the sword from Double O Sky or the Strike Gundam. Yeah. I don't know. I really like these design. Like a physical blade with a beam running through the front. Articulation is very similar to the Ginn. So I'm just going to go over that real quick. Once again, the hinge right here, ball joint for the feet. Double jointed knee, but it's the polycap system connecting this one centerpiece together. So that's not really good. Articulated front skirt, articulated side skirt. This right here is a holster for that sword. So the sword can just slide in right there. And it can be held in pretty securely. So that's nice. The waist is on a hinge. It's a polycap that connects to a straight peg. You can see that sort of right there. There we go. You can rotate that 360. The head is on that same hinge system as the. This time you can actually move it back and forth if you. Actually, no, you cannot. So don't bother with that. It's just static. Anyway, same system right here. The arm is just a peg from straight peg from the body, so no movement whatsoever, and straight peg to the polycap, so you can try to rotate that. However, the backpack does get in the way. And we have the obvious bicep swivel, single joint elbow, and a ball joint for the hand. Now, what's really cool is that these side cannons, it's a ball joint to a polycap here, so you can kind of rotate that. This part does block it from, full rotation. And when it's not deployed, you can undeploy this section right here, so it makes it, turn it into thrusters or something. Now you do have to do a lot of painting on this kit as well, so it can get quite annoying, but it does have this very unique shelf presence, especially if you're gonna have the giant cannons deployed. That looks really cool. Yeah, like you put it on the action base and just have it do this. That is nice, right? Well, you guys decide. I don't know. I don't consider myself a fan of Gundam Seed, the high grade Gundam Seed line anymore. Kind of give up on this line because I can see the difference in the proportion compared to other kits. So unless they do like a revived version of these kits, I'm kind of not interested in getting any more kits from this line. So I think that's that. It's a pretty nice looking mobile suit if you like the look of it. Other than that, it's I think it's kind of niche. Yeah. Oh, also I missed out one point of articulation right here. I guess the cannons can kind of move like that, barely. So you can have it move back just a little bit like that if you want to, but yeah, it's really not that big of a deal. A lot of painting is required for this kit. And last but not least, let's take a look at the Gundam, the Strike Freedom Gundam. This kit is released in 2016. Retail price in Japan is 2,000 yen, so about 18 to 19 US dollars. And this is a really nice kit, despite this is part of a Gundam Seed Destiny, so it's Season 2, and Season 2 is just terrible. And the pilot for the Strike Freedom, the main character from Gundam Seed, is the most hated Gundam character in all of the Gundam universe, according to a Japanese poll. Like, people hate the pilot, Kira Yamato, more than any villain from the actual Gundam universe, because the guy is just a total jackass. And anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the instruction manual. Obviously, this is part of the high-grade Universal Century line. They just shoehorn in the high-grade Cosmic Era, 2016, made in Japan. And yeah, there we go. Here we have all the information. This is a very, very powerful suit, but unfortunately, the pilot is just an asshole. And I think that's that. We have all the gimmicks. We have a beam shield, beam sabers. Unfortunately, I did not get the beam sabers, so I'm not going to be able to show you. The beam saber have that special gimmick where you can attach them together, make a double-edged beam saber. See if it show you that right there. And we have the beam shield, which I also didn't get from my friend. And this kit will look a lot better if it's attached to an action base. Also, there's also a premium Bandai effect parts where you can attach to make like all this thing looks like it's firing. So we got the blast effect part for the railgun, the beam rifles, and each and every one of the dragoons. Yeah, in the Gundam Seed universe, they call funnels dragoons. So you can remove the dragoons, and then you can have the dragoon flying via the effect part. So there's an effect part, I think an effect stand for holding all the dragoons. Yeah. So that's that. Let's go ahead and try to get this thing back in there properly, if I can. Hopefully I can. There we go. We have the connector port here for the beam sabers, and these rail guns can be undeployed like so, like that. So yeah, if you don't want the railgun deploy, you can just undeploy them very easily. And these can swing to the back here like so, and that reveals two more polycap port. And what you do is you just remove the blaster, fold down the handle, and the the beam rifles, I guess, can stick to the side skirt like that. So that's very nice. Okay, so one really cool thing about his weapon is, aside from the dragoons, is that he can actually combine the rifles. So the rifles can have a combination mode. Let's see if I can get that to work. There we go. Okay. It's honestly not that impressive. So basically, it just forms a Buster rifle like that. Whoopie-doo, right? Who cares? Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the Gundam Seed universe. I don't care how powerful the Strike Freedom is. It's just another Gundam, man. And yeah, okay, the backpack you can actually fold down like that. Pretty cool. And then you can actually rotate that like that if it's going to, like, high like flying mode or something. Anyway, it's a pretty cool looking kit. It's kind of tall. Let me get it off the stand. You can see it stands a lot taller than the Ginn and the Sagu. It's probably because these guys have bad proportions. They should be very similar in height if they were designed in the same line. Unfortunately, they're not. Articulation on this kit is actually pretty good, despite its bulkiness with all the dragoons and stuff like that. The dragoon bits can be articulated like so. So you can move that up and down, rotate that, swing up and down, swing in and out. So rotate that, very nice. Head is on the ball joint. It's the same system right there. Okay, there we go. So you see the hinge right here. The hinge actually doesn't work. So let's see. So you can't get the hinge to go forward or back. So it's just a poly cap right there for the head, and you rotate that. It's kind of hindered too. So, oh, actually no, you can actually get the. Let me see if this is done properly. Okay, you can actually move the head up like that. Although it's gonna kind of trying to pull up that armor bit from the collar. Either way, we do have the swing out poly cap right here. Rotation right there. The ball joint system. Shoulder armor. This piece is actually molded into the upper section, so it can go up like that. Bicep swivel, and then double joint the elbows, ball joint for the wrist, and we have ab crunch. So we got an extra ball joint here for the torso, so allow you to do the ab crunch, and then we got the ball joint here for the waist. You can rotate that, but the backpack is just going to severely hinder the articulation. Front skirt can go up. The side skirts are these blasters, and the back skirt is fixed right here. And if you have the rail guns, move to the back, the rail guns is going to kind of get in the way too. So, yeah. Or the rail guns can also act as side skirts if the beam rifle are being used. Okay, obviously we got the connection port here for the legs, and we got the thigh cut right here, universal joint for the hips, very nice. Double jointed knees, and we have the hinge right here for the feet. The toe can hinge forward, so that's nice. You can see that there's a ball joint here for the feet, so you can get some good rotation out of that. The kit can stand on its own as long as you properly position. I guess like the backpack. Yeah, it looks really cool, but I can think of more Gundams that look even better than this guy. But yeah, it's the most iconic Gundam in the Gundam Seed universe. It's also the most powerful. So I think that's pretty much it. I do actually recommend the Strike Freedom if you like the series, or if you like the design of this suit. It eventually got made into another kit from the Gundam Build Fighter lines, the Amazing Strike Freedom. And that's also a pretty nice kit. So if you don't like this one, maybe you can just get the Amazing Strike Freedom. Also, this is where the beam shield attached to. It's like the beam shield part, like just goes onto here, and then you stick this part over the beam shield piece, effect part. So yeah, I think I cover everything. This is a pretty decent kit. It's pretty nice. It can even stand up properly, even with the humongous bulky backpack. And I think that's pretty much it. I hope you guys find the information helpful. And next we're gonna explore G Gundam. So yeah, revived version of the G Gundam and the Nobel Gundam. So stay tuned for that. Hope it doesn't fall over before I end the video. Thanks for watching.